You look up a key in a Python dict a million times a second. So here's the puzzle. How does Python find the one you asked for without scanning every single key you stored? The obvious way is a linear scan. Start at the first key, check it, move on, check the next, keep going until you find cherry. That's O of n with a million keys, that's a million checks. Nobody would ship that. A dict doesn't scan. It jumps straight to the right slot in one hop, O of 1, whether you have 3 keys or 3 million. And by the end of this video, you'll see the one thing about dicts that surprises absolutely everyone in interviews. Before any Python, picture a cloakroom, a wall of numbered hooks. You hand the attendant a name tag and they put your code on a hook. That's it. That's the whole shape of a dict. The attendant doesn't search for a free hook. They run your name tag through a little hook calculator, hash of Alice, modulo 7, and it spits out hook 3. Code goes on hook 3, one step every time. Now Bob walks up. The attendant runs the same hook calculator on Bobby, and it spits out hook 3 again. 2 coats, 1 hook. That's called a collision, and Python handles it by probing another slot using a fixed sequence, not simply the next one along. So here's the rename. This is a hash table. The name tag is your key, the hook is a slot, the hook calculator is the hash function, and the coat is your value. In Python, the whole thing is called a dict. Let's watch one fill up key by key. Granular build step 1. We create an empty dict, 7 hooks on the wall, all free, nothing in it yet. Watch how each key lands. In code, an empty dict is just prices equals curly braces. Right now the board is empty, 7 slots, all free, waiting for keys. Now we store our first key, prices square bracket apple equals 0.4. The hook calculator runs hash of apple modulo 7. Python randomizes string hashes every run so the exact slot changes, but say it lands on 3. Apple heads to slot 3. The pair apple 0.4 lands in slot 3. 1 key stored, no scanning, no searching. That's the grain, hash the key, pick the hook, drop the value. Same board, same dict, apples sitting in slot 3. Let's add 2 more keys and watch where the hook calculator sends them. Add banana at 0.3. Hash of banana modulo 7, say it lands on slot 1. Banana goes to slot 1. Notice it did not go next to apple. It went wherever its hash sent it. Add cherry at 0.65. Hash of cherry modulo 7, say it lands on slot 5. Cherry goes to slot 5. 3 keys, 3 different slots, 0 loops. Every insert is the same one-hop trip, placed by its own hash. Same dict, 3 keys in. Now watch what happens when we assign to a key that already exists, apple's already in slot 3. We write prices square bracket apple equals 0.45. The calculator runs the same hash, apple still maps to slot 3, same key, same hook. So Python doesn't add a new slot. It goes to the existing slot 3 and overwrites the value, 0.4 becomes 0.45. Reassigning an existing key updates it in place. No new hook used. Same board, now a delete, we're going to remove banana entirely. We say del prices square bracket banana. The calculator points at slot 1, banana's home, and Python removes the entry. Slot 1 lights up coral as it's being freed. Banana is gone, slot 1 is dashed out and empty again, and that hook is now reusable for some future key that hashes to 1. 2 keys remain, apple and cherry. The board persists, only this one slot changed. Now the payoff, the whole reason dicts exist. Let's look up apple. We read prices square bracket apple. The calculator runs 1 hash on apple, and Python goes straight to apple's slot. 1 hop straight to the slot, read the value 0.45. No loop, no scan, no checking the other slots. Whether the dict has 2 keys or 2 million, this lookup is the same cost on average. That's the trick, hash, go to the slot, read. A million lookups a second, each one the same 1 hop cost, O of 1 on average. That's what it means in practice, and it's why the dict is the structure you reach for 100 times a day. Okay, pause for a second. You've now seen the mechanism. Hash the key, pick the slot, store or read the value. Next come the moves, the everyday dict operations, and then the traps, the 2 edge cases that bite people in interviews. Move 1, a value can be a whole other dict. Here users maps Alice to an inner dict with her age and role. The value in slot Alice isn't a number, it's an entire dict sitting behind it. To reach the role, you chain the keys. User square bracket Alice gets you the inner dict, then square bracket role hashes inside that inner dict, and pulls out admin, 2 hashes, 2 hops, and each hop is still O of 1. Nesting dicts doesn't slow you down, you're just doing 2 independent lookups back to back. Move 2. What happens when the key is missing? We ask for grape, which we never stored. No slot holds grape. With .get you pass a fallback. Prices .get of grape 0. The key is absent, so it just returns your 0. No crash. .get is the polite lookup. Present or not, you get an answer. Now the blunt way. Prices square bracket grape. Same missing key, but square brackets don't take a fallback, so Python raises a key error and your program crashes if you don't catch it. So the rule is simple. When a key might be absent, reach for .get with a default. When you're certain the key exists or you want to fail loudly, use square brackets. Move 3. The Dict comprehension. In one line we build a brand new Dict cheap from prices, keeping only the pairs where the value is under 0.5. Apple at 0.45 passes the filter and gets copied into cheap. Cherry at 0.65 is dropped. A fresh Dict, built and filtered in a single expression. Edge case 1. The interview surprise I promised at the start. We insert zebra, then apple, then mango. They land scattered across the slots, each key in its own hashed slot, not lined up in order. So if you iterate list of D, you might expect the keys to come out in that hash scattered order, whatever order the slots happen to be in. That's how a naive hash table works. But Python doesn't do that. You get zebra, apple, mango the exact order you inserted them. Since Python 3.7 Dicts remember insertion order, not hash order. That's the surprise. The open loop from the start of the video closed. Edge case 2. The key that explodes. Try to use a list as a key, curly bracket list of 1 2 x. Python refuses. It raises type error, unhashable type list. Why? Because a list can change, and if a key could mutate, its hash would change, its hook would move, and you'd lose the value. Python won't let that happen. Swap the list for a tuple, curly bracket, tuple of 1 2 x. Tuples are immutable, so they're hashable and it works fine. So the rule, a key must be hashable, which in practice means immutable. Strings, ints, tuples, yes. Lists and dicts, no. Pause and screenshot this. It's the whole deck on one screen. The mechanism, key, then hash, then slot, then value. Insert, update, and lookup are all O of 1 on average. Collisions get resolved by probing another slot in a fixed sequence. The moves, square bracket to add or update, .get for a safe lookup, del to remove, and a comprehension to filter into a new dict. The traps, dicts keep insertion order since 3.7 and keys must be immutable. Lists and dicts are unhashable. Save this to your Python prep playlist. One last thing, a question for the comments. When a key might be missing, are you team .get or team try except around square brackets? There's no wrong answer, but there's definitely a debate. Drop your take below. I read every single comment. And here's what to watch next. You can store a value in O of 1, but what if you need to count a million things and you're tired of writing, is this key here yet before every increment? That's collections.default dict and counter, the next video. One of them counts the words in a whole document in a single line. Guess which one before you click. If this made Dicts click for you, like and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel, and there's a lot more Python where this came from.